Hi, everyone. I'm John Skouras.
And I'm Stephanie Weber.
And we're here with your Show Me How podcast for another exciting session. This is session number 16, Stephanie.
No, it's 14.
Oh, excuse me, 14. How quickly I forget.
John's speeding us along.
Lucky 14.
Lucky 14.
Right?
So today we decided to take you back until how this all started. John and I kind of alluded to how we got to be friends, but to take a real deep dive into the world of Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park and how we became so good at real estate by working on it with our friends, fathers, by rebuilding local businesses and then moving on to bigger and better things till today.
Right, and just how chaotic it was, but it was like chaos under control. It was the most bizarre place to grow up, but it was super fun. We had fun for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, basically it was our untamed spirits. We were allowed to run amok throughout the area. We met at a very young age. I mean,
I think you were 3. I was 3. You were 4.
Yeah.
You were running around with my brother, I'm sure, on super fun.
No, I don't know. I guess at that age we probably did, because Dean was always older than me.
So he's a year older than you.
At least, isn't he? 2. I think he's
No, you're going to be 60, right?
50, 60. So you're going to be 60. Trying to block that one out. Thank you.
Don't worry. We'll drill it into you, because my brother had it drilled in.
We're talking about 55 years ago. 57 years ago.
Yeah.
Some of this story goes back to. Wow.
Right. And then there was your brother too that tagged along at the end. He was younger than me.
I never remember hanging out with my brother when I was young, except at home.
No, he
was
would
a
come
different
around,
audience.
But we called him Stinky Matt, remember? Because he didn't get his diapers changed.
I'm sure we had nicknames for everyone.
We did.
Needlebone. Remember Needlebone?
Needlebone, yeah.
Yeah.
We liked him.
So
we're going to take you back to how we grew up in Lincoln Park, how the craziness shaped us who we are today, and why the podcast has come together is because we really, really have a deep love of real estate, but love of the city too. Like, it was super fun growing up.
Yeah, I love it all. And we watched it evolve. So
yeah,
we're going to lace up our moon boots.
Yeah, do you guys remember moon boots?
Were they laceable?
Yeah, remember they were like these big
pull-ups.
things and you just laced them on.
I guess they had both versions.
Yeah.
And they were crazy colors, blue and green,
they had
orange.
styrofoam in them, or not styrofoam.
And we're going to grab a Slurpee from the local store.
Right.
We're going to rewind our Walkmans. And today we're going to go to a full blast in the past, what growing up in Lincoln Park was in the 1970s.
70s and 80s.
70s and 80s.
Right. Because,
I was born in 65.
60. Right? You're going to be 60 this year.
When were you born? What's your birthday?
66. I'm
66?
not 60 yet.
Oh, you're only 1 year older. Younger.
Yeah. And Lincoln Park wasn't bougie back then.
Well, it was relatively, I mean, it was the nicest neighborhood for sure, right? But it wasn't bougie.
We had rooming houses up and down my block.
Still.
Right.
I agree. However, I guess the really nice neighborhood, though, was
over towards school.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast and towards school when we were at school. Like over on whatever, Geneva Terrace and all
Deming.
that. Deming. Yeah.
Right? Where Ronald McDonald House was and maybe is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a little bit more.
Yeah, we were more in the run amok on Dickens and Orleans, but we could go. We had the candy store next to our school.
Oh, that's right.
And the lady ran the candy store. Candy store.
Just the candy store.
Candy store.
Ethel and somebody.
Ethel would run in.
2 elderly ladies lived there, and they had that like nephew or something, Frank.
I don't remember.
Who would come? Frank was like this. I love you, Frank. Frank Brown.
Frank Brown,
I think was his name, and he used to come visit his aunts and hang out, and we became friends with Frank. We go in there though. We try and sneak candy out at lunch. Of
course.
I mean, we were full on jacked up on sugar
for sure.
While
and she was like open for business.
Oh, right at 10 o'clock when our first recess, right?
Yeah,
I think it was about first recess.
And no one would ever say you can't go to the candy store at recess. We went anyway, and then.
So not only are we talking about candy, we're talking about. We grew up with the Lagoon, the Bower Street Cafe, where you guys are having your weddings at nowadays.
Yeah.
Was our
It was our
hot chocolate
hot
stand
chocolate plane.
and our hot dog stand, and that's where we would ice skate. We do rooftop games of catch one, catch all.
Yeah, you jump
from rooftop
roofs.
to
Yeah,
rooftop.
why not? That wasn't dangerous at all.
Remember the game we played at Lincoln Park in the Abraham Lincoln School in the yard?
Johnny Tackle.
Johnny Tackle.
I got tackled twice and lost my breath and thought I was dying because you're tackled
You'd line up 50
cement and you're running in
snow. There was
frozen snow.
We usually played in winter, right?
Always in the winter.
Right.
And then you would slide. Someone would slam you onto the cement. You would lose your breath. I thought I was dying.
One person was at the nurse minimum each day.
And then I hit my head on the spikes of the fence. One time someone tackled me there and gushing blood.
Stephanie's personality's explaining itself now.
Right. But, even though we had all this chaos, everyone's mom was well known. Everyone's mom had a role in the neighborhood. Like there was Mrs. Needleson was the one you didn't understand, but you knew that you didn't want to mess with her. You just run.
She scared you.
She did scare you.
She couldn't speak English, right?
English, French, and you knew that you were in trouble. She'd scowl at you and a lot of the finger thing going on. This was back in the day, too, where anyone's parent could reprimand you at any time.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't matter.
Nobody would put a hand on you.
No, reprimand you.
No, reprimand. But, some places, their parents would thrash you. But our parents were a little more
they would
educated. They were
yell,
more like...
and then you would stop. Like, there was no continuing to run.
We respected the parents, is what you're saying.
And you would run home and hope you beat the phone call home.
Yes.
To tell your side of the story before the other side was told. Right.
Or pick it up with trying to do your best mom's imitation on the phone. Pick up the phone and be like, hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is Mrs. Curris. What has my son done now?
Is Mrs. Curris in? No, she's not in right now.
We went to preschool together.
We did.
At the Lincoln Park Co-op, which now is the most bougie preschool in the city.
I heard that.
Oh, no, you can't get into it. Listen to this. I got in through a legacy. I got my kids into it from me.
Really?
I was a legacy. Yes, so people were paying like $15,000, probably more now, for like 3 hours of school for your 3, 4, 5-year-old child.
Oh, my God.
For 4 hours a day. It's like probably $20,000 or $30,000 now.
No way.
But it's insanely expensive. Yeah, and you cannot get in.
And the only reason we went there is because our moms wanted to get rid of us for 3 hours.
We were first ones there.
Right.
We were
3
lucky.
hours. My mom got to skip around the world, not having her 2 kids, and she was thrilled to death.
And the teachers knew who you were. I mean, I don't remember preschool, but definitely, Miss Stocking, our kindergarten teacher. She knew us. She's a lovely, wonderful woman. Mrs. Ward, I think, was a little older teacher.
I don't remember Mrs. Ward. I remember a lot of them. But it was funny, so your teacher knew everything about you, and you would sit there and you would talk to him, and then, Mrs. Stocking's moving me around the room saying I talk too much. And I'm like, she's like, why do you keep talking? I go, because you keep moving me. It was
new people.
Why do you keep
people to talk to?
Because you keep moving me. So I have new people to talk to. And then you would make friends with the new people, scheme and do whatever you need to do. But I always trying to call in sick too. Yeah. If I would make my mom call in sick for me and she's like, you're really deathly ill. You can't go do XYZ after school. Oh, I think I'm feeling better. Okay, I'm going to go to school.
They would give you the consequences of you skipping school. Oh, that's too bad. You won't be able to go to the gym class, the after-school activity.
I think I'll be okay. Better. Oh, yeah.
Well, what happened?
Oh, my God. It was.
So this is back in the day when you didn't have cell phones?
No.
My mom, I remember this explicitly. It was a very traumatic experience. It was 1979. Wow. Remember that big snowstorm?
Yes.
So back in those days, children,
there was no snowplows.
There were few snowplows, but also you had studs in your tires. So my mom had the station wagon with these studded tires. You could drive through straight up a hill of snow with these things. They basically gripped onto anything. And we were out at an appointment. I was coming in school late. And it was the big snowstorm of 1979.
Oh, my God, that was the best.
You'll hear about it. It was huge. It was not the best for me. So my mom rolls in with this tank freaking car in front of the school, and it's like a
Winnebago.
It's like a Holocaust war zone. There's nobody around. There's snow blowing everywhere. There's no people out because it's winter. You're like, she reasoned apparently that the kids are inside the building. So I get out and she rolls off, drives away right down the street on Kemper over to Orchard, took a left. God knows where she went because she wasn't home. And I'm stuck outside in front of the house, in front of the school. And you're hitting the door. It's like, boom, boom. I remember this echoing boom. And nobody, they closed the school.
Right.
The whole school's closed. I'm left 6 blocks from home in the biggest snowstorm I've ever experienced in my life. I think to this day, it's one of the biggest we ever had.
And you had
I remember, I was so young. I can't remember how old I was, probably 10, 11. And I had to go back out to Larrabee.
Yeah.
Which was Geneva, I think, at the time, when it crosses Lincoln Avenue. And then I had to walk all the way down to Lincoln Avenue to Oz Park. And then I was so young, I didn't make a good decision. My house was straight down Larrabee on the right.
Right.
So I get to Lincoln Avenue. I cross. It's like the tundra. I'm like, I didn't have the right clothes on. I'm hiking through it.
Well, no mother
Anywhere. Nobody was on the street. I was like I'm telling you, it was like a nuclear holocaust. No, it was like a bomb had gone down. Nobody was out anywhere. There were buses. There were no cars. There was nothing. And I'm like, oh, where's everybody? It was like a scene from Legend. I Am Legend. So anyway, I'm going down the street, and I walk on the Oz Park side, not the Walpole apartment side. Well, because I'm going a straight line to my house, but it's like 4 feet of snow, and I'm like 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall. I'm like trudging, like, oh my God, how's it going to make it? Nobody's out there to help me. I just trudged through it, and I got home. Oh my God, it was.
Was your mom home?
Harrowing. I can't remember. I was too traumatized. She had to be, although I probably had a key, but God knows.
I think she didn't really care.
We lived across from the firehouse.
Right. I remember.
So I at least could have always had refuge at the firehouse.
At the firehouse if you needed to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is a classic. Like they just dumped you. They didn't.
Good luck.
Good luck. See you later.
Oh, you're going to take the train 70 blocks? Okay, here's $1.25.
Oh yeah, they didn't care.
Oh no.
So we had,
totally
you guys have cell phones and alerts. We had the mom chain. Like there was state of utter surveillance at our school at all times. And
it
in
felt
my
like Russia.
house,
How you think of Russia?
were completely wrong when a teacher called. Like, if Mrs. Bauman, Mrs. Costas, anyone called my house, I was completely wrong. My brother was always wrong. And we had to back our way out of it. But the best is my parents thought it was a good idea to then become friends with all the teachers, right?
Oh,
and
yeah. Well, they were neighbors,
well,
right?
Why not? Yeah, sure. So have them over for dinner.
Yeah, no.
So I
didn't have that
jumping
nightmare.
down the stairs, and who's sitting in my dining room is the principal. And then there's Linda Clark. And I'm like, another teacher. I'm like, what is
Mrs.
happening?
Cullen?
Mrs. Cullen.
I like Mrs. Cullen. She was very nice.
Not when she's over for dinner and you're 10
you don't want
and you
her
don't want
sitting
her
there,
over
but
for dinner.
She was nice.
But my mom and dad are like, sit down, have dinner with us.
They never had Mrs. Bauman over, did they?
No, just those two. So
that woman,
was enough.
She goes down history. Look up Abraham Lincoln School on Facebook and look at the trends and read about her.
She never let us sing.
She was very wicked
mean
woman.
But then Mrs. Costas owned the local store. She was super fun.
Right at Dickens and Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah.
The Carnival grocery store where everyone went for their groceries.
And it's funny looking back, and I think we look at our kids and your kids and my kids and just kind of understanding how we played. Like there was no like phone tree or phone. You just knew, like you went out in the street, you found someone to play with.
As soon as who's around,
who's around, and you just floated to whoever was around. You played whatever
neighbor are we going to hassle? So we would have neighbors who didn't want you being on their property, so we would explicitly try and find people to go on their property so we could get them to chase us. We'd climb on their roofs, like throw a pebble at their window so they know we're here.
Oh
then we'd run away.
We'd run away, and then there was a parking lot at the end of my block, and that was the recreational center for the neighborhood. We would play tennis against the wall. We played softball, baseball, and we'd
Fast
always
pitch.
we'd break Don Green's window. We'd all
Break
run
windows,
because then we were in trouble.
Because it's like living on a golf course at that point, right?
But do you remember in that parking lot too? That's where the bums hung out at night.
Yeah.
So there was glass everywhere. Everywhere in the parking lot.
The bums were not cleansy.
No.
Very clean.
No.
Very clean.
We had some nice bums in the neighborhood, but you know, for instance, we had a halfway house across the street from me.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was good. They put it
was.
right in strategic location in
It
case you wanted
was.
to take up residence.
But you know, it was fun. We would we had Lincoln Park Day Camp across the we'd walk there.
I love that place.
And we'd walk to North Avenue
Remember our
Beach.
little backpack bag we throw on with our little stuff, and then we march over to
North Avenue Beach. And we'd have a great time.
Go swimming and do our little woodwork. That's where I learned my first
I almost
woodwork.
cut fingers off in
the
woodwork.
basement.
Yeah. I made my grandmother a plant stand, and God love her, she put it in her house, and it was the most god awful thing. And I almost cut this finger off on the saw. So, again, supervision was not rampant.
No.
At all. So,
and then they just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just wrap it up. It's fine. Do you need to call my mom? No. We're good. You know, there was a lot of things that we did, and it was super fun because even though we kid about the no supervision, there was eyes on us all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't your mom, it was someone else's mom, and they would always bust
And we were
you.
street smart too. We knew because in that time we didn't mention this in the outline, but there were street gangs, but these were like soft street gangs.
Yeah,
like,
there was.
they were like,
I don't know.
The Latin Kings were over by Kemper, I think, up on by the Ronald McDonald House, and then there were the
I think there was some
unknowns
south,
were somewhere,
like,
and then
by Caprini Grain there was some, but we didn't venture over there. So
we didn't, but also we did know those kids on the fringe, and they were fine.
Yeah,
they were just
fine.
It was like a little group of kids, and they gave themselves a name back then, right?
Right,
but we all looked out for each other. We stayed away from it. We knew where not to go.
Right,
and we all looked out for each other too. So I remember we were at the conservatory. Flip Cody and myself and his brother Kit, Christopher, would play at that high rise there next to Belden Stratford.
Oh yeah,
the white one. So that went bankrupt as they were building it.
Oh, it was
Remember?
right. We could go inside.
They built
and play.
the whole structure.
Yeah,
which is basically one giant apartment per floor, and it's wide.
Yeah,
I think it's 35 feet or something. Anyway, it went bankrupt after they built the shell, and that was it. And there was no stopping you to get in. I mean, they had little barriers. We would go in there after school at like 3:00, and we'd climb in this place
and just play
up to like 20 stories. Trying to figure out how to navigate the unused elevator shaft. There was bums living in there. They had the whole second floor or third floor covered in clothing. The whole thing.
No
We're
way.
talking like 5,000 square feet.
Wow.
And it was stacked. I'll never forget it. I was like, wow, this place looks really comfortable. And then one day, the reason I brought it up, we would go there and we would play, and some of us would show up randomly, and Kit Cody, Flip's brother, vanished. And nobody knew where he went. And we're like, oh my God, did he get hurt at the building? And it ended up, there was an incident at the building, and Kit actually went with the police, and they had to do a big police report.
No way.
Yeah, but we found out before the police even reported back to his mother. We kind of knew he was gone. We were searching everywhere for him.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
But that's how tight it was. You know, we even knew when our friends were gone. We were all concerned about our friends. Where's Billy? Where's Sue? Where's Dean? Where's Stephanie? Where's Matt? And we'd be looking for each other. And if we didn't know, we'd go look for each other.
Right. And there'd be, some new people, not too many usually. It was usually the same families.
Few years.
But winter was always exciting in Chicago, wasn't it?
I loved winter in Chicago. Summers were great, but winter, we got so much snow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. We used to get so much snow.
Yeah,
and
it was great.
We would
skitching on the back of the buses.
Skitching on the buses and the cars.
And the cars.
Yeah. That was
buses
good.
were fun. Cars, they would catch you.
They would catch you, and
some people had lead foots, and they would drive a little too fast.
Right, and they'd try to get you off.
Skitching is basically holding a bumper.
Do you remember taking the corner and you'd go flying that way,
off.
get into the snowbank? But it was fun. We went to Lagoon and we used to ice skate, and back then there was no Zamboni that came and fixed the ice. But we would go on ice skate, and then towards the end of the season, of course, my brother, being the smart one that he was, they would have a guy on a loudspeaker recording, caution, thin ice.
Over and over.
Don't
like tedious.
enter. Caution.
It reminds me of the London train.
Right.
Mind the Gap, but it was forever. It went
Right.
on.
And so being we didn't need to listen to the caution thin ice. We would ask Dean if we could go on the ice.
Yeah.
Dean, what
Which
do you
is a
think?
bad idea.
Oh, it's just a little bit wet on the edges. It's fine. And then we go on the ice and there are these loud bangs and we're like,
crack pop.
I think we should get off the ice. Then you would start running in your ice skates. You probably wipe out on halfway and then you go into the puddle and then you'd be freezing cold because you were sopping wet. And
these are stories of Dean torturing his sister is what it sounds like to me.
Right. It
Sure,
was.
you'll be fine, Stephanie.
You'll be fine. Just go ahead. Luckily, we never had anyone fall through the ice, but it was pretty close sometimes.
Yeah.
And then your feet were frozen, and then you drank that awful hot chocolate at Cafe Brower.
Yeah, it was still, I didn't mind it. I loved it.
Well, because we didn't know any better. We were stupid.
And I lived right there, so I grew up right across from the zoo. So we'd wake up and we'd hear sometimes the lions and the tigers roaring and all the crazy cats they had. Remember that?
That was
Your mom
fun.
worked there, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
So did my mother. She worked there in the administrative building. She was there when the gorilla got out.
That was my mom was there too. Otto.
Otto the gorilla got out and
was walking through the grounds.
My mom told me, she's like, there were some nice little Asian tourists heading south past the administrative building towards the cat building, the big cat building, and then Otto came walking past.
No way.
Oh yeah, and they were like, they handled it pretty well. They remained very calm apparently. The gorilla just kept walking.
I
don't remember where he ended up.
I think they tranquilized him.
They tranked him, but
yeah.
I think it was just after the tourist area.
Yeah.
They caught him pretty quick.
They did. I think they saw him walking past the administration building and were like, oh my God, that could be a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My mom was looking out the window, saw him walking past the administration building.
That could be a problem.
Tourists are out there. They're like,
we have a problem,
yes.
Houston.
And that was the days of Dr. Fisher.
Yes, my mom loved
Fisher.
Dr.
ran
Fisher.
the zoo.
You're right.
That's
my
right.
mom loved her.
And they had the monkeys. Remember they built that administrative building? They put those little capuchin or whatever monkeys at the top. So we would, go up there and tease the monkeys.
Of course we did. Yeah.
Poke them with sticks. They were vicious little suckers. If those monkeys ever got out, it was over.
It was over. You were OVER for sure.
Oh, and Sean Slattery. Great story here. So remember the cat building? So the lion or the big cat building today, I think it's the same building.
They have such a big outdoor space now.
It's so totally different. Here's how our building was. It had steel. It's about 15 feet deep, steel bars that bent down, and then there was like a moat of about 3 feet and a fence about 3.5 feet tall. So these wild cats are behind. You could literally go up to the fence. If you wanted to, you could walk out there.
Don't tell me you dumbasses went up to the fence.
Sean Slattery.
No.
So Sean Slattery, we used to break in the zoo all the time because it was easy to get into.
Easy,
That's why they put up those huge fences. Those fences there today were because of us.
Yes.
Because we used to break in the zoo all the time.
We'd flip ourselves over the railing.
Oh, yeah. So Sean jumps over the railing, and there were different cats at like every exhibit. So every 20, 25 feet was another type of cat. And Sean was at the snow leopard exhibit. And he was petting. There's a female snow leopard at the front of the cage.
Way. He put his hand in there.
Yes. And he's wearing a real Levi jacket. The ones today would not handle it. So he's wearing a real Levi jacket. He crosses over, and the male is sitting on the back up on the wall on like a ledge. That's all they had those days. And he started petting the female, and she started to purr. And as soon as she purred, the male leaped off the back and clawed Sean. Sean turned, and he ripped a hole. He still has the jacket, guaranteed.
No way.
I should get him in here for one of the interviews and show us the jacket. Yeah. He got the male snow leopard clawed him and ripped his Levi's jacket open. But he didn't get hurt. He wasn't even bleeding because it was a real Levi's jacket.
Oh.
When they were made for men by men.
So the moral of the story is get a real Levi's jacket and then go pet the
You can't get them anymore. You have to buy them in a recycled store. What is it called? A white elephant
thrift store.
Thrift store. If you get one of those, they're
You're
great.
golden. You're golden. And then we also had our weekend trips. We didn't do any of we always went to Door County. We have a house in Door County, and we would go up there for, the snow.
For all winter, right?
For a couple weeks at Christmas, and like my mom and dad's friends, again, no supervision. We're skiing through Peninsula State Park, and yes, it's a beautiful place.
There's wolves.
But you might want to know when you left and when you come back, and you might want to know where your parents are.
Yeah. I mean, it's seriously.
No, and then we're standing on the sled hill, which is not a big hill, but you're in cross-country skis, and there's 4 of us up there. Do you think we should go down the sled hill in our cross-country skis?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Why wouldn't
sounds like a good idea.
You ski down ski hills.
Not one of us made it. Not one. We were flopping down the hill, and my mom and dad are drinking sangria. Hot
that's
sangria,
basically
whatever.
what happened to me. So we would go up to our place in Phelps, which is Land O'Lakes or Eagle River area. And we go up there for like the whole winter break. I remember we'd stay there for Christmas and everything. It was awesome. Tons of snow. But our parents would basically go to the club, the Gateway Lounge, and leave us at the ski hill. There was a Gateway ski hill. So we would ski for 6 hours a day. So that's why I could ski like backwards, somersaults. I got bored of skiing at like 30, moved into snowboarding because we did it every day. Right. And we were off in the forest. And there's there's bears up where we lived. Oh no, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Luckily, there were always enough of us. We never got hurt or anything like that.
Yeah. So, our games continued on to Wisconsin. It wasn't just in Illinois, in Chicago, but then I remember, I know nobody knows this that's probably listened, but a few people might know. So at Lincoln, Ashland, and Belmont. That was the shopping mecca of my era. There was a McDonald's there. There was no McDonald's.
That's where the Whole Foods is for reference.
Right. So there was no McDonald's near us. That was the McDonald's if you could ever get there.
No, they had the one in Lincoln and right across from Wiener Circle. That one's been there forever.
Oh, that one. But I could only get to this other one for you could have parties in the basement.
Oh, right.
So, so we go to Goldblatt's, and then we go to Weebles. And then we'd go to that one shoe store that used to be on the corner. I can't remember the name of it. And that was your shopping outing for you going back to school in your acid wash jeans.
That's right. I remember those came out.
Right.
They're all kind of white and light color.
It was
like
the
one
most
version
horrendous version of a jean that you could see. It's like if you ever go
Everyone
back
loved them. The Stonewash was next.
Stonewash, and then
I think acid wash might have come from your father actually, because
sure
people noticed us with the acid holes in our pants because he would give us acid to clean the wood.
Yeah.
Oh,
and what else did he? Creosote. Oh yeah, he burned me and my mom and dad's friends.
Oh, it's still to this day up at the farm in Door County. There's a burn pit. Bill, your father, would burn everything in the city, anywhere.
And he was an environmental engineer. I
don't think it means the same thing.
Whatever. So, we would go to all kinds of places, Medusa's, Exit.
That's right. Oh, the Exit I loved. That's where the Suburbans would come in to kind of be cool.
Yeah.
And we would slam dance with them. Slam dance them out of Chicago. No, the Exit was over on Wells Street originally. It's now,
Where is it now?
I think it's closed, but it was moved to
was it Ontario?
North Avenue and Elston. But it essentially is closed now.
It's closed now.
It was cool. They had a caged dance area that you go into. They put on punk rock and Billy Idol and all that stuff. I loved it.
I did go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, though, at the Biograph.
The Biograph right by Weebolt's?
No, Biograph on Lincoln.
Yeah.
It was
across from Lincoln Tap.
Yeah.
The Biograph Theater, which you'll know of Lincoln Tap. That wasn't Lincoln Tap. That was, what was that theater there? The orange one. The Orange Theater right across from Biograph was like the racy theater.
Oh, I don't know.
It would be equivalent to
like a speakeasy?
Facets.
Oh.
No, it used to be, and you'd see like Clockwork Orange would come up on that screen, but Biograph was more kind of a
And then you
mainstream.
Remember the Red Line that was haunted?
No, I didn't.
So the Red Line was down the street, and it's
the train.
You would take pictures.
Oh, the Red Lion.
Yeah, haunted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, at again Dickens and Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah, haunted.
Right? Wasn't it there?
No, it was just down the street on Lincoln, north of Fullerton. I think it's still there.
Oh, it might be.
Anyway.
There's a great Wisconsin
Yeah,
supper
so
club
we
over
would
there
bounce.
now.
And were we of age to be in the bars? Probably not. Probably.
No,
not.
we didn't. So Dean and I, worked together doing carpentry when we were really young, and we worked for all the guys that owned the clubs. So we helped build Crowbar, Kaboom, Esoteria, Club Neo, which is where I met David Bowie. Unfortunately, it closed like 5 or 7 years ago, but great club, kind of alternative club at the time.
It was weird.
It was very cool.
Strange. A lot of piercings.
A lot of
strangeness.
You know, they had all that transgender stuff going on way back then. But
it was a weird era of the 80s and 70s. And
it was not such a big ostracization as it is today.
No. So, it was funny just being around there. The funny part about the grocery store was that you could go and sign for groceries.
Oh, yeah.
You could go and you would say your name.
Same with the pharmacy.
They had a pad, and you would sign whatever you bought, and then they'd close the pad, and then they would bill your parents. Now, the tricky part about that was if you signed too much, you got in big trouble, and then you were banned from signing. But I think back at we have cybersecurity for everything now.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a little pad you flipped over and you signed, and
double authentication. Yeah, there's none of that going on.
So it's and then we would take.
I used
to
get my bubble gum, sneak my bubble gum under the bill.
Right, and
I ran out of it. Bubble gum.
Take the CTA everywhere. I don't think
everywhere. We took the bus, the 151 Sheridan, 22 Clark, 36 Broadway, 73 Armitage.
Yep.
There's a Sedgwick one.
There was this 39, I think.
37.
37.
That's right.
But you would never ask your parents for a ride. You didn't
want to be.
You didn't want to be. Your mom didn't know how to drive, and my dad would never move his car because he had a parking spot.
Yes.
So that was it. That was if you got a
parking
parking spot.
He had a garage. He always had a garage, didn't he?
Well, he had
your street was very difficult.
He had that big 4-door pickup truck. Remember?
No, I don't.
The Queen Mary. We called it the Queen Mary.
Queen Mary.
Yeah. So when we go around, we'd go to Wiener Circle. We'd go all over the places. So just to give you an idea of why we wanted to do this episode, just so you got an idea of how John and I grew up and why we are doing this podcast, is to kind of lend humor to it, but really that growing up in the city was amazing. It was fun. It was scary in the fact that we had no supervision, but that's okay.
No, not just that. I mean, the neighborhood, so we've watched it all evolve, right? So, I mean, there were the crazy white hillbillies over at Sedgwick and Armitage.
Yeah.
And that neighborhood now is worth, millions and millions of dollars. The gangbangers to the west, the unknowns, were over by Halstead.
Yeah.
And Armitage. And now that neighborhood is like Charlie Trotters was over there.
And what was the Augustana Hospital? We used to go there.
That's, I frequented
that was on Lincoln, and I frequented that a lot too. I was
Lincoln and Webster.
Lincoln and Webster, and my mom was going on a skiing trip, and she wasn't taking me. Of course, I was irritated, and she was taking my brother, and she's like, "Oh, it's time for dinner." I'm like, "I don't have to go to dinner. Why? I ate the candy in your suitcase." It was the baby aspirin. Again, we're sprinting to Augustana through the gangway into the neighbors.
How many did you eat?
I ate the whole thing.
It's like 60.
I know. Well, it tasted good. Why did they make them taste good? So then I had to get my stomach pumped and all this stuff. But that was the neighborhood. So you guys have your minute clinic. Augustana was the triage.
Augustana was our triage.
It was our triage center.
Which one was Augustana? Was that the one at Armitage and Lincoln?
Yeah.
That was a big one. It was a really cool building, too.
It was big.
I'm surprised they didn't turn that into condos, actually, because it was a really cool structure.
It was good.
It was tall, too. It was like 7-8 stories.
Yeah.
And then we had the other hospital.
Oh, Grant Hospital.
We had Grant Hospital. We had 3 hospitals, because then we also had Children's
Hospital.
Memorial Hospital.
Yeah.
3 hospitals within 4 blocks.
Right. And we
all
went
up
to them
Lincoln
all.
Avenue.
Yeah, we went to them all.
Every one of them.
All of them. You'd always see someone you knew in the hospital, too. So
cuts, banged up. You'd walk in on your own sometimes.
Sometimes,
just be like, hey, could you
just like,
patch me up? They're like, sure.
Yeah, can you call my mom? I have blood gushing on my head. Yeah. No problem.
And we would play Dungeons and Dragons with my buddy Flip over in his house in Oakdale, sitting in the basement. Then we go for Crazy Climber over at Wiener Circle.
Yeah.
When it wasn't quite as crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't
so we
as
ditched
vulgar.
school, actually. I remember ditching school and going to Crazy Climber. No, it wasn't as vulgar.
No.
And screaming, yelling,
and then
insulting
the
you.
Century Mall.
That's a
when that opened.
Niche.
Life was different.
My gosh.
That was.
Remember the Parkway Was it the Parkway movies was over there too?
Yeah, but the Century Mall,
And then the Century
you had
Mall took
arrived.
over. Oh,
You
yes.
it had the Limited. It had these stores. It was this big indoor
It's a big
mall.
spiral.
Yeah.
If you haven't been there,
I don't
it's the
think
same as it ever was.
Is it open anymore?
Yeah. Oh,
It
yes.
is?
Their movie theaters do quite well, from what I understand, and they were hurting about COVID was really bad for them.
Right.
But they've, I think, rebounded since. Although I haven't been there since.
Yeah.
then. I went there back in 2021 because they were interested in selling it. So I was talking to the owners of it to see about selling it.
Yeah, it was a great place to grow up. You could always, and it was funny, you'd be like, hey, what do you want to do? Want to go to the beach? Sure.
And you just go?
You just go. Like
Get on your bike?
Get on your bike.
Or
and go.
skateboard when the skateboards came
Right.
out. And I guess also, by the way, back to your point about why we're doing this. So this just gives you some flavor about, what we've learned growing up here.
Yeah.
The city evolves, it grows, it changes. You can see the trends. You need people out there helping you that understand where this neighborhood's going. I was just talking to a gentleman who wants to open a church in Bridgeport. And so I work in Bridgeport on occasion. I'm trying to give him the idea of, he wants to rent it one day a week. I'm like, well, you're probably not going to be able to do that, but you should look at the bigger buildings and look over here. And so when you've been here and you've grown up and you've seen the evolution, you can see the trend. When neighborhoods are popping, like Logan Square, I'm living right now. It's crazy. The growth is just nonstop.
And when my dad bought his Six Flat in Logan Square, it was hilarious that my mom was, of course, irritated at him again because he just bought it.
Probably for $40,000.
I think he bought it for $70,000. That was a big purchase too.
Yeah.
She was not happy.
Yeah.
But it was funny just looking at all that growth and all that change. It's great in one sense, but I think to get to know your neighbors, and one of the things I love about the city is the neighborhood block parties when the neighbors get together and they have the block parties.
Yep.
We didn't have those back then, but we didn't need to. The April Stairs were a block party every night. My parents would sit there and have cocktails.
That was the common way people hung out.
Right.
With your neighbor.
Right.
Not watching TV like they
you
do
need to
today.
know your neighbors and get to know people and enjoy the city. That's what makes the city great is that your neighbor
enjoy your friends instead of watching television, sit in their backyards and their great decks.
Right.
Because everyone's building these crazy decks.
Right.
But they use them, once a month or something.
But the best of all of our stuff. So my mom and dad had a caroling party. Do you remember my mom and dad's
the caroling party was great.
Right.
We always look forward to it.
It was
We're going to have
Christmas.
a lot of characters show up.
And we would
could always
carol
sneak a drink.
Yeah, we'd always carol at Augustana Hospital. Now, my dad, being the good person that he is, was a horrible singer. And so who would carol in the first person? Dar Apel, the Jewish guy, would be at the head of the carols. So we would go follow and carol with them. But I think that's why, like, the Nielsen's were Jewish. It was just so different, but yet everyone just got along.
It's just a party where you went to sing.
Yeah. And it was fun. It was, and no one had any, like, preconceived notions of anything. It was just, like, one big neighborhood hanging together. Who is Glenn Rush, who lived on the first floor? Remember Glenn Rush, the artist?
I do remember that name.
And he was off the charts. My dad didn't know what to do with him. He was like, he couldn't relate to him at all. He was a mathematic guy, and he was like, Glenn's all over the place. And my dad's like, what's happening?
Coming from an old sailor.
So it was a super fun place to grow up. We have dear friends still to this day from there. It's like,
I'm going to go spend a week or more with Dean.
God love you.
Later this week.
Yeah. I'm going up in August when
Are you?
It's dissipated all the...
When are you going? We'll figure that out later. Maybe
Right, we'll figure it out because I don't want you to come.
We'll bring some Russians.
We don't need to have the Russians here, but thank you for letting us go down memory lane, and we will continue to share our wisdom of all the stuff we learned growing up. My dad...
And we're still learning.
We're still learning it, too.
I mean, we're still learning it. It's evolving and changing, but, that's kind of the fun of having grown up here. We knew what we knew when we were younger, I didn't even know it at 16, 17. I was dealing with zoning issues with your dad and permits and stuff like that. And then when we got into real estate as a business, it just started doing it for real. Yeah. Buying my own real estate, getting building permits.
And knowing, the other thing is my dad was big on knowing how the city works.
Yes.
So back then, he hated taxes. That was my dad's biggest complaint in life was taxes because he didn't think they did it fairly, whatever. So he would drag us all down to the Cook County building. And back then there was books. And you would get assigned to look up a certain address, or you would have to go through these large, massive books to find it. And then he would go and sit in front of the commissioner, and he'd plead his case, and he would win sometimes. Sometimes he'd lose. If he lost, he'd go back to the books. We had to go back to the books, find other properties. I think the commissioner gave in just because he knew he was going to be back. But that's another thing.
I do that to this day. I do it every time the nightmare politicians raise the taxes.
And it looks like they're going to do it again.
You got to be kidding me.
No, anyway, I just saw it in Cranes.
But it's... the taxes are burdensome. I met my neighbor down the street from me. I just was talking to him a couple of days ago, and he told me his taxes are $16,000, and he can't afford that. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's retired. Also, Brendan, apparently, the administration when they came in, there's this senior freeze. When he came in, he removed the senior freeze, and so if you didn't file that next year, your taxes went up.
Oh, it did automatically
for all the seniors. Yeah, I mean, it's just stealing.
Yeah,
you people are stealing from us, and we're not going to put up with it anymore.
Okay, we're gonna
no, it's just terrible.
All righty.
Sorry.
But
your dad was right. Right, and I'm right too.
And it's also important, I think. My dad was the what was he? The precinct captain. And
yes, you got to be involved.
You got to be involved with your neighborhood. Don't look for other people to do it. Get involved. Get understanding of what's going on.
Yeah. So you out there who are on condo associations, stop. Go be part of the school board. Go be part of become an alderman. You'll get more control. You want control. That's why you're on the board anyway. So go and do something good for your neighborhood.
Yep.
Become an alderman. Become a councilman. Something like that.
Just get involved. Yep. And we will see you back here next week.
No, 2 weeks.
Oh, we're getting a summer break.
We're getting a summer break.
John's going to play with my brother.
And Mike and Matt
our great audio guy is going
I think Matt's getting kicked out for abusing the parking.
Right.
Isn't that what you heard?
I don't know.
Studios has to move.
Yeah, Mike is. They're having a rock band maybe in honor of Ozzy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
By the way, thank you, Ozzy, for all the great years.
I don't understand. Ozzy Osbourne never did.
Well,
Who's the one that ate the mouse?
Ozzy. That's why he was the way he was.
The rat.
The bat. It was a bat.
No, he ate a bat.
He didn't eat it. He bit the head off.
Okay.
Who hasn't bit the head off a rat?
A bat.
Bat.
Oh, my God. And you wonder why he had so many problems in his whole life.
No, I never really understood his affliction, but thank you, Ozzy, for all the great years.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Your music was incredible. Black Sabbath, live on.
Live on.
Rock on.
All right, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Bye.